Hello, stay-at-home mamas. You know, I remember when I used to be a stay-at-home mom, when I'm just like, no, there's a lot of women who were giving me a lot of hassle, a lot of different, well, you can't be doing that. And, just like in general, how society operates or function is that it's not okay to be a stay-at-home parent, which to me, I'm like, but you do realize that as a stay-at-home parent, we are the lawyer, we're the judge, we're the jury, we're the whole nine yards, we're the referee at times. We're also the one that's doing the cooking, doing the cleaning, raising the kids. We're doing all of the work. And sometimes, especially given certain situations nowadays, it's a good thing to be a stay-at-home parent. I don't know about you, but finances is not at the top of my list of to as a reason why to stay home at all. For some people, it may be a reason why we need to stay at home is because the daycare costs and other things. But when you take that part aside, just for a moment, give yourself time to really stop and think about how good it feels to be a stay-at-home parent, to be a stay-at-home mom. Think of the first time you got to watch your child walk. You got to hear them say mama, or in my case, I get to hear dada. Think about the first time you got to witness your child crawl. You get to feed your child. Now, these things, these important firsts of life, you miss when your child's in a daycare. You miss the first time the child crawls, the first time the child walks. You miss those when the child's in daycare. You're too busy working, so the daycare has your child. The daycare gets to see the first time that your child crawls, the first time they walk, and maybe perhaps even the first mama or dada, and you don't get to experience that. Well, that's the blessing of being a stay-at-home mom, is that you get all of these other positives. Your child, they are more likely to grow up in a safer home environment than if they're out and about with other people. And I understand the concept that we need to be with other people in order to grow. However, when other people are not conducive to your growth, the growth that you are doing as a mom, the growth that you want to do as a family, when the environment around you is the average of the 5 people that you're around the most can tell me about who you are, just the first 5, it says a lot when you stop and think about it sometimes, does it not? Well, I'm going to tell you a story. For there's this, who can find, now think of the husband's perspective on this the whole time. Who can find a virtuous wife, a wife of excellence, who wants to lead, who wants to take care of her family, who wants to be a stay-at-home mom, who is the judge, the jury, the referee, all of this? I mean, how amazing is that gift to your children? And that's an amazing gift that you get to give. Not everybody gets that luxury of being a stay-at-home mom. Not everyone does. So this woman's worth, the stay-at-home mom, the one who's taking care of the family, the one who also may want to have a part-time job on the side where they only work a few days a week and a few hours just to bring enough money in to something to enjoy herself. For her worth is far more valuable than rubies. The heart of her husband safely trusts her, so he will have no lack of gain. She does good for him and not evil all the days of her life. She seeks wool and flax and willingly works with her hands. Think about all those dirty diapers. Every time I see the word flax, I'm like, dirty diapers. And she is like the merchant ships. She brings food. She brings her food from afar. She also rises while it is still night. That 4:30 a.m. that I can't do, well, I can do 5:30, but I can't do 4:30. Still nighttime in the sky. And you provide food for your household and a portion to maybe other people around you, because sometimes as a mom, we do those things. We always think of other people before we think of ourselves. She considers a field and buys it, and she profits from her plants and a vineyard. It's kind of like I was just saying about how stay-at-home moms, sometimes we do start little companies off and on. We join them and we get frustrated when it's not working, or we get frustrated because maybe it wasn't the one for us, or maybe we didn't have the right leadership. And at the same time, she girds herself with strength. She takes and builds up that strength to keep going and strengthens her arms. With all the kids, you have to strengthen your arms, do you not? I mean, how many times your kids get so heavy, which is a good thing because they're obviously growing, and yet at the same time, you need to find that strength to keep going. Just kind of like in business too. She perceives that her merchandise is good, and her lamp does not go out at night. She stretches out her hands to the distaff and holds her hands, and her hand holds the spindle. She extends her hand to the poor. Yes, she reaches out her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of snow for her household, for all her household is clothed with scarlet. She makes tapestry for herself. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Her husband is known at the gates when he sits among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them, and supplies sashes for the merchants. Strength and honor are her clothing. She shall rejoice in time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and her tongue is a law of kindness. She watches over the ways of her household, and does not eat the bread of idleness. There's another thing too, is that when your mind is idle, it's not doing anything that allows the negative thoughts to occur. It allows that attacking of what should I do? What should I do? Like what should I do or not do? It allows this to come in when you're idle. An idle mind is the devil's playground, is it not? Think of all the different things you get into trouble when you're just sitting there watching TV. You're just sitting there doing nothing. An idle mind is the devil's playground. Her children rise up. When you raise your children up, they become blessed. They also are thankful and praising you as they get older because they had that opportunity of having a stay-at-home mom. Because many children do not get to have a stay-at-home mom. Her husband also praises her. And you know, the charm is deceitful and beauty is passing. Your beauty will fade. It's a fact of life. But a woman who fears the Lord shall be praised. Give her the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. So the whole message is that when you're a stay-at-home mom, you think sometimes you get frustrated. You're like, I want to do more. I want to do something. You think like you're not doing enough. Or maybe sometimes you're just like, oh, maybe I should go back to work. Maybe I should do something else. And then the employer's like, well, we don't want you because, well, it's been so long since you've had a job, working for somebody else. So then they don't hire you. I've been in that position many times. Well, here's the deal. Those employers that are not hiring you, who don't see your value that is far beyond rubies, my God, these employers, they're 100% lacking your worth. So why would you want to work for them? Any employer that says that a stay-at-home mom who hasn't been in the workforce for X amount of years. They are 100% discounting how valuable you are. I mean, my God, as a woman, you are a born leader of your household. Some women do need to be taught how to be a leader. Some of them do. I was one that was like, no, I already knew what I wanted from the get-go. But I've still had to learn along the way how to find my own rhythm and make it work. But these employers, they totally lack seeing the value of a stay-at-home parent. So whether you're a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dad, when somebody says that, oh, they don't want you because of this or that for staying at home, they totally don't get the concept of how valuable you are. You're worth more than rubies, worth more than diamonds. And I'm not talking price-wise here at this point, although that would be a good thing. But look at it this way. A diamond is created under pressure. The pressure comes from the children. It comes from the outside influences of society saying, well, you shouldn't be a stay-at-home mom. You need to go out there and work. There's lack of jobs right now, or there's lack of workers and all this other stuff. But in the grand scheme of everything, those who get to teach their children, they sow what they reap. So what your thoughts are the results that you get. So choose wisely and make sure that whatever you do, make sure that you're listening to something that's building you up, not tearing you down. You're the average of the 5 people you're around the most. So really stop and think about what you want to do in life. And from there, that's where the magic will happen. Just keep going. Have a great day.